After Paul punched the police officer in his face, he got arrested and taken to the Nye Forest City police station. The next day, Officer Charles Benson came to Paul's cell and said, Look, you were neither drunk or drugged, so what made you do such a thing to a police officer, and why?" Paul said nothing. At that moment, Officer Charles Benson received a piece of paper. While he was looking at it, he whispered, Lepankai village. And then he turned to Paul and said, I gotta go now. We'll talk about it later. You'd better have a good reason for what you have done." While Officer Benson was leaving, Paul said, "You'll never know what happened in Lepankai village." In Kleinord City, the old woman and the stranger were talking about the wolf eater lost his wallet. The old woman said, "I hope the police haven't noticed what happened in Lepankai village." The stranger said, "What if the police have already found the wallet?" And at that moment, the old woman's phone rang. "Mrs. Plummer, we're coming to you. We'll meet you soon." The old woman told the stranger, "Rita Kaczynski wants to see Mortimer's mother. The replacement must be done soon." Quickly, they went to the real Mrs. Plummer's house. They knocked her down and put her body in the bathroom. The stranger said, "You have to get Rita out of the city somehow, so that the police officer doesn't notice." The old woman said, "I already have a plan. Look, give me a call half an hour after they got here. Then go to the police officer and talk to him for a few minutes." The stranger said with a smile on his face, "Oh, let me guess. And then I should go to the restaurant and wait for you to bring Rita and Jonathan. Am I right?" A few minutes after the stranger left the house, Rita, Jonathan, and the police officer arrived. The stranger, who was watching the police officer from a distance, made a fake phone call to the old woman. "Hello? You found anything? Are you sure? What do we do now?" Okay, see you." After the call ended, he went to the police officer and said, Hello, officer. This is my first time visiting this city and I'm new here. May I ask you a few questions about Kleinord City?" The police officer kindly answered all his questions about Kleinord City. After he was done with the questions, he said goodbye to the police officer and went to the restaurant. Once he got there, he saw a red car parked next to the restaurant. He went to the red car and saw Detective Anwar Keaton laying in the back seat. At this moment, Howard came to him and said, Sir, may I use your phone? I must call the police." The stranger asked, Why? What happened?" Howard said, Well, all the people of Lepankai village were killed and the killer is still out there in the village. Please, let me use your phone." An hour later, the stranger was waiting at the restaurant to bring the old woman, Rita, and Jonathan with him. But suddenly, the wolf eater came in with the body of Officer Benson. Moments later, the wolf eater was sitting in front of the stranger, looking down at the body of Howard, Anwar, and Officer Benson laying on the floor. The stranger asked angrily, "Does Detective Anwar know who you really are?" I'm sorry. And at that very moment, 3 whistles were heard, and the man ran out of the room in a hurry. He saw the car that Rita, Jonathan, and the old woman were in. He also saw the police officer pointing his gun at them. He knocked the police officer down and went to the car with a smile on his face. An hour later, Detective Anwar Keaton opened his eyes and found himself in a room laying down with 5 other people before him.